Rattlers pregame show on Cox 7. Coming up, we'll break down tonight's huge matchup between Arizona and Spokane. Also, I'll be joined right here on the set by Billy Eisenhart. The Rattlers center is in his first year here in Arizona. In a short amount of time, he has made a huge impact. Also, we catch up with the Rattlers defensive backs, whose ball hawking skills have helped Arizona to a league lead 28 interceptions, including 6 last week at San Antonio. Let's start things off now by hearing from Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy and hear what he has to say about trying to slow down Spokane quarterback Eric Meyer.
We need to cut the head off of the snake, if you will. We got to get to the quarterback, and we got to punish him. He's been injury prone in the past few years, hasn't been hit. He's been smart with the ball, and you got to give them credit. Their coach has done an outstanding job with this team, but he does a good job of throwing the ball away when he does get in trouble. He's a mobile quarterback, but we need to physically put him down on the carpet Saturday night, and we need to come out away from this game having 12, 15 hits on the quarterback.
All right, so now head upstairs to the guys calling the action for tonight's game. Kevin Ray and Dale Hellestray. And guys, talking to KG earlier in the week, he likens tonight's game to a playoff game. Really big one here.
And not surprisingly, Chris, as it should be. You get the two hottest teams. They are coming in ranked number 1 and 2 in the power rankings, Dale. And let's be honest, most people figure that the Arena Bowl will run through the National Conference, specifically this West Division.
And it's going to be a playoff-like atmosphere tonight. You could see it, sense it out at practice this week for the Rattlers. They have taken it up to a new level.
There you can see at 11-1 overall. More importantly for the Rattlers, they want to continue that home dominance. They currently sit at 6-0, and they'll need to play like it's a playoff game tonight because this is a Spokane team going back 4 weeks ago. Coach Kevin Guy telling us he felt like Spokane was the team to keep an eye on and potentially the team to beat.
Well, remember, if you lose this game tonight, you're the Rattlers, you can give up home field advantage, something that you desperately want going into the playoffs.
They almost had that happen last year and had to have a few turn of events come their way. Well, one guy doesn't necessarily always get the spotlight, but he seems to make the plays when necessary. Talking about none other than Superman, Odie Armstrong. He'll play a pivotal role tonight, not necessarily in scoring, but in his pass protection.
And that's the thing that the fullback does in this league, is you have got to be a solid pass protector. Odie Armstrong over his career has done that. He needs to step it up a little bit tonight. This Spokane defensive line got to Nick Davila earlier in the season. He can also run with the football, which is such a nice weapon to have from your fullback in the Arena League.
Fans, of course, continue to be enamored with the high-powered, high-octane offenses that the AFL presents, but to win a championship doesn't matter what level, NFL, AFL, you better have a good defense, and the Rattlers have certainly had that, and in recent weeks, they have elevated their play even more.
28 interceptions on the season. Now remember, talking to Connie Kawhi, the offensive defensive line coach for the Rattlers, their sack numbers aren't maybe as high as some people would think, but you see a pressure here by Cliff Dukes. That doesn't go down as a sack. That goes down as an interception by Marquise Floyd, returned for a touchdown. So a lot of times this Rattler defense feeds off pressure, not necessarily sacks. And the other thing, you look at this defensive backfield, as soon as they catch the football, they're looking to score.
Yeah, 29 interceptions for this secondary a year ago, so they have been getting it done under their defensive coordinator, Omar Smith. They'll need to bring their A game and then some tonight, perhaps facing the hottest quarterback in the AFL, talking about Eric Meyer. Played just one game last year. You heard Kevin Guy allude to the fact that he's been injury prone. They're going to need to bounce him around tonight.
80 touchdown passes on the season. The thing that really makes him dangerous is the fact that he can throw the football away, but he'll tuck it and run, and he can hurt you with his legs. And when you have a dual threat quarterback like that here in the Arena League, it makes it very, very difficult to defend. He's out there having fun. He's put together a really nice season. He's hoping to keep that going again tonight.
And Chris, of course, the Rattlers expecting the atmosphere to be electric in here tonight. We're certainly looking forward to having it here on Cox 7.
Guys, should be a terrific game. Really looking forward to it. Thanks for the time. Catch up with you in a little while. All right, now we want those of you at home to be a part of our broadcast as well. You can hit us up on the Cox 7 Rattlers social media, Facebook and Twitter. And for more on that, let's now send it to the fourth member of our team, our social media correspondent, Lindsay Smith. Lindsay, what do you got?
Thanks, Chris. Well, we have a lot of great stuff on social media for all of the fans out there, from behind-the-scenes information on the teams and players, backstage pictures, and of course, our contests and giveaways. So if you haven't already, be sure to like us on Facebook at Cox 7 Arizona Sports and follow us on Twitter at Cox 7 Arizona. Chris?
Thank you so much, Lindsay. All right, when we come back, I'll be joined by Rattlers center Billy Eisenhart, the leader of the offensive line. He's going to talk about tonight's game and what it's going to take to get a victory. Stay right where you are. We're just getting started on the Rattlers pregame show on Cox 7.
Hey Rattler fans, I'm Chris Coraggio. Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
On Saturday, July 20th, mixed martial arts action returns to Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale as King of the Cage presents Heated Fury. Don't miss all the MMA action when hearts, titles, and honor will be thrown on the line. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or call the Talking Stick Resort box office 480-850-7734. King of the Cage, Heated Fury at Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale. Under 18 must be accompanied by an adult. Fight card subject to change.
with head coach Kevin Guy leading the charge as they defend their Arena Bowl title. Join the Cox 7 sports team all season for exciting Arizona Rattlers action. Watch the Snake Attack on Cox 7. Stream the games on Cox7.com or on the Cox 7 app. Championship football is back on Cox 7. Tune in live Saturday, July 13th when the Rattlers work their magic on the New Orleans Voodoo at 5:30 p.m.
Only 2 more home games left after tonight in the regular season. Get your tickets now for the New Orleans Voodoo game on July 13th at Auction Field at U.S. Airways Center by logging on to Ticketmaster.com, azrattlers.com, or by calling 602-514-TD-TD. Great seats are still available. Get a good look at Odie Armstrong, a.k.a. Superman. Terrence Sanders back deep to receive. He has been a problem to handle thus far, just as he was in the first meeting. Runs into his own blocker. And then nice job by Tyree Glasper to get downfield and get those legs locked up and keep it at a very short return.
It looked like he had another crease for his own blocker. You could tell there was a little bit more effort on the coverage responsibilities of the Rattlers, but looked like there was somewhat of a crease there. If it wouldn't have been for James Ruffin, still might be running.
1st and 10 here for Eric Myers in this Spokane offense, trailing 21-14. Myers time to throw, looks deep far side and completes to Brandon Tompkins. Let's send it downstairs and check in with Chris Harris.
Thanks, K-Ray. Standing by with Odie Armstrong. And Odie, can you describe for us the atmosphere in a big game like this?
Oh, it's a playoff environment right now. Fans are loud. We have great fans in here in this league. And the way the teams are competing tonight, it's like a playoff game.
You've now rushed for a touchdown in 12 straight games. You got 2 already here tonight. Take us through the touchdown runs you got.
It's just we brought in the big receivers and put man on man, and we just powered it in there.
Give us an idea of what the practices were like this week and the atmosphere going through this past week.
Oh, practice was it was intense. Coach was up pumped, and the guys on the team, we knew what happened last time we played them, and we just here to let everybody know who the best team in this league is.
Appreciate the time, Odie. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, let's get it back upstairs.
Yeah, 2 rushing touchdowns, 12 straight games, 20 rushing scores on the season. Penalty on that last play against Spokane, so that will back them up. A holding call to their own 20, so 1st and long here, Dale.
And you got to give Odie credit. Again, he will be rewarded when he does his other things, and Coach Guy is a big believer in that.
Myers completes it short to Tompkins. Was able to shake free from the defender Brown, who came up. Couldn't quite bring him down, so they pick up a lot of that penalty yardage.
Well, and that's the thing. You want to be a sure tackling football team, something that they really impressed upon the defensive side of the football this week. And we've seen a couple missed tackles here early in this first half.
On 2nd down, Meyer looks across the middle. Spokane looking for a penalty flag, but will not get it. Kellum there on coverage. Pass intended for Jordan.
Well, we talked about the pressure. We talked about the interceptions this defense has. But watch right here in the middle of your screen. This is Antaj Hawthorne. And he does this 60 times a game. He just goes straight back towards the quarterback, and that makes him uncomfortable. Meyer can't step into his throw. The throw's a little off target.
Pressured this time. Can they get him? No, just did get rid of the football. Antron Dillon putting the heat on along with the player you were talking about a moment ago, Antaj Hawthorne.
Hawthorne, Tyree Glasper busts through there. Looks like Spokane got away with a little holding there, but We talk about this defensive line being relentless, and that's what they've been here in this first half.
Obviously, this is the kind of game that Cliff Dukes would certainly love to be playing in, but it's given an opportunity for Antron Dillon to showcase his talents as Meyer drops it into the hands of Tennell, who kind of peeking over his shoulder and pays the price with a drop ball on 4th down. So for the first time tonight, the Rattlers defense is able to turn him over on downs.
Yeah, he looked over his shoulder, but so does Marquise Floyd after the ball falls incomplete. Marquise comes up a little bit high right there. And those are the plays that you cannot afford to have. You got to understand the situation. It's 4th down. It's our ball. We cannot commit a penalty at that point. No flag thrown. Rattler football.
Here's Davila going back to work, completes it right at midfield. Rod Windsor comes up with the grab.
Well, it's interesting when you're talking to Connie Kawhi, the offensive defensive line coach for the Rattlers. He said something that I'm going to give him credit for. I'm sure somebody said it before him, but he said big games is when little things matter. Okay, and by that he's saying technique. He's talking about feet and hands as an offensive lineman, hitting your proper depth as a receiver, making your right reads. All those little things, you do those correctly, the big things take care of themselves.
Davila setting up, throwing deep, looking for Windsor, but overthrows on that one. Well, Dale, we've seen in a few of the games or the practices leading up to some of the earlier games that the coach's most difficult task is getting his teams focused, getting them up to go play, to play those Chicagos, to play those San Antonios. And to Connie's point and your point, they knew that wouldn't be an issue this week. The players recognizing how big it was, but attention to detail is what will really determine who walks up the field to the win here tonight. On 2nd down, Davila throwing and batted up in the air and into the stands.
Well, there's a thing called mental staleness to where, it's a long season. And you're going out there every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, flying on Friday, and sometimes it's just another game. I had that when I played, but all of a sudden San Francisco comes to town or a Green Bay. Or so. You do have a re-energized, focused detail. And it's always a fun week to be around. It was a fun week to be around the Rattlers.
Read the motion man now on 3rd and long. Davila trying to find the football, completes on the far side. Harvey gets upfield and looks like he'll have just enough for the first down. Boy, credit Nick Davila for keeping his poise, more importantly, his feet and eyes staying downfield, and found Harvey for a big first down.
Ball on the ground, he's able to pick it up, and for a split second thought he might throw it over the dasher boards, and Trandon Harvey wide open. And what you love about that play right there, Trandon lowering his shoulder, gaining a couple extra yards, and picking up the first down.
Well, he and Kerry Reed are the unsung heroes of this offense. They'll drop it short again. And those little offensive lineman drop-off passes, this time going to Odie Armstrong. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you slap a number 70 on Odie's frame. He could play O-line.
Really nice job. They're doing that slide protection. He slides off the defensive end, and boy, he smells another touchdown as he's rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, and stopped just a couple yards short.
1st and goal to go here. Armstrong gets another opportunity, but this time the shock defense able to bottle him up.
Well, see, I don't think that dive straight ahead takes advantage of what Odie does best. You see him when he gets out on the edge, on the perimeter, he feels comfortable out there. He has a nice sense for when to turn it on, when to show patience, and when he goes, he lowers that shoulder. He can't get a head of steam when he starts off from a yard behind the quarterback.
Yeah, his speed and footwork defies his 260-plus frame. Davila, lots of time, guns it back corner of the end zone, and deflected up into the stands. Nice coverage back there. As Stoudemire comes up with to play. Patrick Stoudemire, 5'11", out of Western Illinois.
And he's done a nice job, Stoudemire has. Even the balls the Rattlers have completed against him, it isn't because he isn't there on coverage. It's just been a better job by the Rattlers. Nice job there, now brings up 3rd down.
Harvey, the motion receiver. Davila looks backside, looking for Windsor, wanted a holding call. And once again, Patrick Stoudemire had him locked up. So it sets up 4th down here. And Coach Kevin Guy will run his kicking unit out there.
Well, there was nowhere to go with the football. Just a really nice goal line stand. You don't say that a whole lot in arena football, but that was a really nice goal line stand by the Shock defense.
So Lindholm on to attempt what will be a 17-yard attempt. And knocks it through. Would have preferred 7, but they'll take 3. And with it, a 10-point advantage now. It's 24-14 with 4 minutes left to play here in the first half.
They call it the game of football, but let's make one thing clear. The Arizona Rattlers are not here to play games. They're not here to see their name in lights, to become superstars or to make millions. When they suit up, they're looking to do one thing. Go to war. Arizona Rattlers football. Get a Rattlers family 4-pack with 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas starting at just $99. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com or 602-514-TDTD.
Hey, Randy!
Hey, Paul.
I'm watching SportsCenter live. I've got Cox, so I get it on my Watch ESPN app. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I get it from Cox, too.
Oh, why aren't you watching it?
So I wouldn't be able to see that hole.
What hole?
That hole.
I'm okay, Randy. Good talking to you, buddy.
Get our new 2-year price guarantee. It's our best offer ever. Enjoy Cox Advanced TV Plus for just $24.99 a month. Now with Watch ESPN for your computer, tablet, and smartphone.
Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. and again at 9:30 p.m., Vanessa and JR visit a musical museum filled with music, instruments, and musical history from all over the world. Join them for a special tour of MIM, only on Suvida.
Kind of a mixed blessing that last drive. Obviously, you came away with points, but in a game you figure this Shock team is going to continue to score touchdowns. You don't want to be ending up kicking field goals.
Sanders awaits the kick. Short grab off the nets, takes it straight ahead, crossing the 10 out near the 12, and wrapped up there by Antron Dillon. So the last couple of times on kick coverage, the Rattlers have done a much better job of keeping him bottled up.
I would have liked to have been a little fly on the Rattlers' little bullpen wall over there after those first 2 kickoff returns, as I'm sure Omar Smith and Coach Kevin Guy had a few words for the coverage team.
He talked at length about Sanders and his big play capabilities from the special teams perspective earlier in the week. 1st and 10, Meyer drops it. Found a little hole there in coverage, and Kellum able to wrestle Tennell into the dashboard. Stopped him short of the first down, so pickup of 9. 2nd and short here for the Shock.
Well, again, you talked to Omar Smith, and he said Jordan's the probable rookie of the year coming into this game. I mean, he's at the top of most everybody's list, but he said the thing that Jordan and Tennell do, that they both play hard every snap. They don't drop footballs, and they're good run after catch guys.
Lots of time to throw, but this pass from Meyer off the mark is he has Brandon Tompkins running free through the middle of that secondary. So sets up 3rd and short.
I think you have to give a little bit of credit again to that defensive front for the Rattlers, Antaj Hawthorne. And Meyer's throwing off his back foot an awful lot tonight, and that's because you have 320-pound bodies around your legs, and in your vision, and it makes it difficult to complete passes.
Tunnell, the motion receiver on the far side. Meyer will just use that 6'2 frame of his to quickly push it ahead for the first down. What was interesting in talking to Connie Kawhi earlier in the week, as breaking down the areas where they wanted to push Eric Meyer to throw his passes, breaking down statistically where his highest percentage completions come from, and of course the lowest. And it's interesting to see, if you watch the game develop, how much success they're having at doing so. 1st and 10, Meyer throws quickly, finds Tompkins underneath, and stopped just short of the 20.
And I think that you like the way this Spokane team is milking the clock. You see the scoring offenses through 12 games, both 813 points, which with my math would mean they both average the same amount of points per game, 67.8.
2nd down, Meyer, pressure, completes it to Tunnell, wrapped up there by Virgil Gray. We approach a minute to play here in this first half. 24-14, Arizona on top.
We continue to talk about putting pressure on the quarterback, Watch Pittman right here. Working against Afif, just a quick little swim inside, and you have hands in your face. And every quarterback that I've ever talked to, they don't want a guy with their hands in his face.
1 minute remaining here in this first half. Spokane with the football, Arizona with the lead.
This is Sanderson Ford Country. More people choose Sanderson Ford for parts, for service, for sales, for award-winning customer service. Sanderson Ford Country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
Hey Rattler fans, I'm Chris Coraggio. Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
24-14, 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Let's check in with Lindsey Smith.
Hey, Kevin. Well, July 13th is Striker's birthday. That's right, our favorite mascot is turning 1 year older. And to celebrate, here at the U.S. Airways Center during the next home game, he is asking that all the fans, instead of bringing presents, bring school supplies that'll be donated to kids getting ready to go back to school. So be sure to mark your calendars, July 13th, the next Rattlers home game here at the U.S. Airways Center. Don't forget your party hat.
All right, sounds good. Is the age of Striker closely guarded, Dale?
Well, he looks younger than you and I. And yes, I did put us in the same decade.
1st and 10 here for the Shock, trying to close the gap before we reach the half.
Remember, strategies alter completely last minute of the first half and of the game in arena football. See if they run the football, try and make the Rattlers burn their timeouts.
Drops it short to Tunnell. And nice job of getting upfield quickly there to make the tackle by Marquise Floyd, who, despite those early penalties, has had a good first half of football.
What you try to do is you want to try and get the football last. I was talking to Coach Guy about this the last couple of weeks. Is if you're in Spokane's shoes, I mean, in my mind, you want to score. I think sometimes you get too cute trying to make the other team use their timeouts, and sometimes you don't finish the drive in the end zone. But there is some cat and mouse games there where if you're Spokane and you can get the Rattlers to use all their timeouts, the chances of them scoring again are very limited.
Let's hear from Coach Kevin Guy. He felt this would have a playoff-type feel to it as they get ready for playoff football.
I'm treating these next 2 games like they're playoffs, okay? And, that's where my head's at. It's going to give me a lot of answers to questions I have going into these next 2 weeks on what we need to do that last month after we play these next 2 games to get ready for the playoffs.
Tennell in motion, takes the pitch, is able to get around the corner, and then kind of lost his footing.
Well, see, he didn't lose his footing. If he continued to run, he's going to go on the dasher-board, stop the clock. Tennell obviously been coached well about time management. That makes the Rattlers use their second time out. And now what do? If you're the Rattlers, do you go ahead and let them score, which is always a possibility, so that you get the ball back, because they can get a first down inside the 2-yard line there and really run the clock out. So it'll be interesting to watch how Coach Guy allows the last 43 seconds of this half to unfold.
Right, and then on the other side, second-year coach Andy Olson, because you have to keep in mind if they score, you talked about their propensity for the onside kick. That's always a possibility. So all of a sudden, if you give up 2 scores before the half, you could find yourself trailing and not have an opportunity to have the football. On third down, Meyer sets, throws, completes, touchdown, shock.
Myers pass complete to Jordan.
Jordan comes up with the reception, his 22nd touchdown reception on the season for the rookie out of Bowling Green.
Just a really nice devised pass route, good execution, protection up front was good. Not sure if it's designed to have both Tennell and Jordan within about 1.5 yards of each other, but it worked out for the shock on that play.
Point after is good.
Rowan's extra point is good.
Well, you brought up a good point, Kevin, because you're sitting here now for the Rattlers. It's 24-21. You're going to see him coming into motion right here, and there's just going to be a little mass of humanity there about the 1-yard line. Fits it in there, gets in the end zone, but you have a 10-point lead. You let them score. It's now a 3-point lead, and you have to be well aware of an onside kick. If the Shock would onside kick it, remember they still have timeouts. And the one thing you want to do on an onside kick in arena football is if you're not going to get it, you want to make sure it doesn't go past the 10-yard line so that the Rattlers in this instance are not able to get a first down. And you can use your 3 timeouts and still get the chance to get the ball back.
Right.
And
fans enjoying what has been a well-played first half of arena football here tonight.
And you have a bunch of athletes with good hands up front for the Rattlers.
Harvey is back deep to receive. You see Kellum up there, Marquise Floyd, Marquise Brown. The good hand teams. And they get the onside that they expected and are able to get upfield and quickly get it covered up. Looked like Arkeith Brown was able to slide underneath that pile and secure the football.
Absolutely. You know what? If you think about least favorite things to do on a football field, it's being the onside kickoff return team. Look at these white jerseys coming down to try and take a shot on you. And you're supposed to concentrate on the ball, slowly dribbling, and the coach gets mad at you when you're not able to pick it up cleanly. Well, you got, 4 280-pound guys bearing down on you.
So short field here for Davila and company. Little flip pass outside to Windsor. Windsor breaking free from one tackler and is able to take it down inside the 5-yard line, but took a pretty good shot. Got up a little slow, but appears to be okay. And Spokane will now burn one of their 3 timeouts. You see Kerry Reed pointing at Windsor and to that bullpen back there. Reed doesn't feel comfortable with Windsor's state of mind right now, but Windsor trying to walk it off a little bit.
Well, we've talked about a lot of people. One guy that we just barely touched on, Cornelius Dixon. He talked more about his catch than his blocking, and coaching staff raving about how he continues to improve week in and week out. And they said one of the main things is he reported into camp at about 370 pounds. He's now down to about 330. Feet are quicker, stamina's better, and all those things that go into being a good offensive lineman.
Give to Armstrong as takes it straight ahead. Force another timeout being called here by the Shock.
Well, this is where you go if you're Kevin Guy. Okay, it's third down. I know if I go ahead and gain one more yard, I can make them burn their last timeout, but now I'm putting it in a do-or-die fourth down situation. Yeah, they have no timeouts left, but guess what? We didn't score. To me, it looks like there's a little bit more coaching going on this play. I don't think this is going to be a fall down before you score play.
See the numbers on Davila so far this evening. Windsor, the motion receiver, far side. Davila, lots of time to throw. Guns it back to the end zone. Touchdown, Rattlers. Windsor coming up with a grab.
Well, you and I saw Windsor wide open for about a second and a half, and I was saying, throw the ball already. Great protection up front. We talked about Odie Armstrong having to do a good job tonight. He stepped up and played well, and ball comes in a little bit late, but you could see Nick put a little extra zip on that to get it past the Jack linebacker.
Point after is good. Nice job by Murrieta to get the hold down. 30-21. Let's sit it downstairs with Chris Harris.
Much K right here with Rattlers quarterback Nick Davila. Nick, your impressions of the first half 10-point lead with 24 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a long ball game. You know, they get the ball at half, so we got to get a stop right here. And we got to score every time we get the ball offensively.
You guys have been executing very well here on offense. What is it with their defense that you've been able to exploit?
You know, we're just trying to take what they give us and execute and get punch it in the red zone.
Appreciate it, Nick. All right, let's get it back up to you guys.
Well, and he brings up a good point. Going back and doing self-study, Coach Guy and Connie Kawhi said, our struggles have been in the red zone. He said of those interceptions that he's been throwing lately, 5 of them have come in the red zone. So not only does Nick have to play a little bit better, but Coach Guy has to call better plays. You have to run more precise routes. It was a whole team effort, but things were happening in the red zone that weren't good. Tonight, they flipped that.
Then let me pose this question to you. The Rattlers with a 10-point lead. Do you try to onside kick to get that extra possession?
Do I? No, but that's why I'm sitting up here.
Sanders anticipating the kick, and that's exactly what he gets. Goes off the bar there, and nice job of keeping it out of the hands of Sanders. And Patrick Stoudemire, though, coming up with a nice grab to secure the football. 21 seconds remain here in the first half.
Good effort by Odie Armstrong there on the kickoff coverage unit that's improved dramatically here in the second quarter, but I guess there's nowhere to go but up after the first quarter. You look at the time left, 21 seconds is an eternity in arena football.
Spokane with 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Meyer has pressure. Pushed back into his own end zone, and boy, Antron Dillon bringing the heat there along with big Antaj Hawthorne, forcing the incomplete pass.
Talking about that pressure from the defensive line. Glasper again, just being physical at the point of attack, and that's one thing that coaching staff had said, the big nasty needs to come out tonight, meaning, you know what? you got to be a little bit nastier tonight as a football player. They were looking forward to seeing that come out.
Meyer, quick throw this time to the near side of the field.
Tackled by number 11, Arkeith Brown.
But you talk about Eric Meyer and the job he's done this year, and the one thing across the board is that obviously he's healthy, which is a huge thing, but great decision maker, doesn't take sacks as we just saw there. Just a real catalyst and leader on this football team.
8 touchdown passes in the first meeting between these two clubs. 3rd and short. Meyer steps up, looking, and pass incomplete. Tompkins wanting pass interference, but that was nothing more than incidental contact. And a great no call there by the official as Virgil Gray running step for step.
Really hard to cover receivers in this league for that long and that far away down the field. And Virgil Gray, as good as there is when he's feeling good and healthy, nice physical play downfield.
And a very important play here for Spokane. 4th and short. Do not want to turn it over on downs. Meyer rolls out, completes, penalty marker thrown. And in all likelihood, it's going to be a holding call here. 1 second remains.
Offense number 70. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay 4th down.
Well, and again, you look at this defensive line, and basically takes the Spokane team out of field goal scoring range, and you say a thief right there working against Marcus Pittman, and I don't know how the coaching staff could argue that, but what's got to be frustrating as an offensive line coach, you're talking to Patrick Afif, and you said you can't get beat inside. Your target's got to be the inside number, and that's the 2nd or 3rd time now that Pittman's been able to do that quick swim inside and bring pressure.
And of course, the tough break there, Dale, is that you got the penalty. Unfortunately, you don't get the time back.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was going to say, which side are you talking on? Because if you're a Rattler fan, you're going, why can't the clock operator run 1 more second off and make the officials say put 1 second on? I'd be the worst hometown scoring time clock guy.
Yeah, now 1 second remaining. And if you're the Rattlers, no penalties. Play the ball, and we'll see if Meyer and company will try and take a shot or try to get out of the half. Deep drop, throws short underneath, completes to Tennell. And Tennell with a nasty stiff arm into the face mask of Virgil Gray, but defense in hot pursuit keeps him bottled up, and that'll be the final play of the first half. A great one unfolding here between these two Western Division powers. At the break, Arizona on top, 31-21.
Are you a weekend warrior? Do you know where to turn to if you get hurt? We do. At Foothill Sports Medicine Physical Therapy Centers, we provide an individualized hands-on treatment plan based on your specific injury. We aim to restore function and to prevent re-injury. Call or stop by any of our 12 convenient valley-wide locations to receive a free assessment.
Back at Auction Field here inside U.S. Airways Center, 31-21 as we get ready for third quarter action here in the desert. Spokane will get the football first. Terrence Sanders dropping back to await the kick from Lindholm. 107 return yards already on the night for Sanders and the Spokane team. Nearly broke away the first return of the night. That one going for 51 yards. And we get the third quarter underway. A booming kick there from Lindholm. He takes it across the top crossbar there into the stands. Another souvenir for the fans.
That is a strong, strong leg to kick it that high and that far.
Went over the net. We placed at the 20-yard line by rule. First down, Spokane.
And fortunately not a true touchback because it brings them out to the 20 instead of the 5. But the way Sanders has been returning the football, you'd almost take that. So 1st and 10 from the 20 here for the Shock. Rolling to his right, throwing deep. It's going to be picked off back around the 3-yard line. On the return, out across the 20 near the 21-yard line. And we talked about who would come up with the first turnover of the night. And Meyer throws the first one as Virgil Gray comes up with his 6th interception of the season.
Miscommunication on Spokane's part. Meyer thinking his receiver's going to go deep. Looked like that was Jordan who stopped his route, and Virgil Gray, eyes on the quarterback, able to make a play on the ball and return it.
Check in quickly here with Chris Harris.
Thanks, guys. Here with Virgil Gray, the man who just made the interception. Take us through the play, Virgil.
Well, we wanted to come out and start fast in the second half. I told you earlier, I had to catch them guys with picks. So right now I got fits. We're going to continue to work on defense, try to get more turnover.
What's been working for you guys defensively to slow them down as compared to what happened in week 4 up in Spokane?
Well, Coach O, our defensive coordinator, came up with a great game plan. So all we have to do is go out there and execute, no mental mistakes, and he put us in the right place all the time.
And guys, Virgil Gray did tell me he's going to get some picks here to try to catch up to our Keith and the rest of the guys. Let's send it back upstairs.
All right, thank you very much. Pass complete underneath the read, but couldn't hold on long enough. It was jarred free there by Patrick Stoudemire. Really played a solid game tonight. Again, no Paul Stevens for the Shock defensively.
Well, you'd think that would be a big bonus for the Rattlers, but you know what? In this league, in any league, you get an opportunity, you get a chance. You know what? Now that this game's on film, and Mr. Stoudemire might be a hard person to get out of the lineup.
Third down, Reed with a one-hand snare, just kind of glides into the dashboards, and enough for the first down. He prefers the more dramatic catch over the easy, I'll grab it with 2 hands type of catch.
Great concentration. You know that Dodmaster is right there ready to hit you.
Armstrong barreling around the right corner and collides there with Terrence Sanders, who does a little King Kong pound to the chest, and perhaps that's why as Armstrong still down on the turf. It was hard to tell as that dashboard kind of blocked off our view a little bit. Well, the Rattlers road game at San Jose next Saturday night will be broadcast nationwide on CBS Sports Network, channel 1312 on the Cox system at 7:30 p.m. Tune in next Saturday night for what should be another big National Conference West rivalry game between the SaberCats and your Arizona Rattlers.
Official timeout.
Injury timeout here for Odie Armstrong. We'll step aside for a break as well. 31-21. Arizona on top and with the football.
Tonight's Casino Arizona throw for the no contest. Please welcome tonight's contestant, Charles.
Yep.
What? Hey, Dad. What are you doing?
Our Cox high-speed internet is so fast. And though this isn't scientific yet, I think it might be faster than the speed of light.
Yep.
Dad's really smart.
Yeah.
Get our new 2-year price guarantee, our best offer ever. Enjoy super fast internet. Cox high-speed internet for just $19.99 a month.
Internet wins, internet wins, internet wins, internet wins.
Are you a weekend warrior? Do you know where to turn to if you get hurt? We do. At Foothill Sports Medicine Physical Therapy Centers, we provide an individualized hands-on treatment plan based on your specific injury. We aim to restore function and to prevent re-injury. Call or stop by any of our 12 convenient valley-wide locations to receive a free assessment.
31-21, 12:34 to play here in the third quarter. Let's take a look at that last play that resulted in an injury to Odie Armstrong.
Well, that's the thing. You see these guys coming around the edge, and Odie Armstrong, or if you're Cornelius Dixon or Michael Hugh, you got to understand, you are not going to have Terrence Sanders take you up high. Terrence Sanders will come in, take your knee out, and then he's going to stand up and pump his chest and act like he's a big tough guy. If he takes you up high and knocks you into the dasher boards, yes, I will give you a little bit of credit. But you have to be prepared for these guys to go low on you.
Davila swinging it out of the backfield, completes it to Windsor.
Let's just hope that it's nothing serious. You know, the Rattlers, they've worked their people around. Devon Allen has taken snaps at fullback before. You know, it just takes a little bit of that running threat away from this Rattler offense.
First and goal to go. Davila sets, completes, Windsor, touchdown, Rattlers.
You know, I just talked about the little guys and the big guys. Coach Kevin, guys, he's one of those little guys. You can't come up and take your boys up on high, but nice job. Great pass protection. Windsor just sitting down in the zone, and great concentration getting the ball in the end zone.
Point after from Lindholm is good. Rattlers extend the lead. 38-21. Early third. A happy Rattlers team and a happy Rattlers coach.
You have pride in the way you step out in public, especially when you have a good haircut. Diana was amazing, and she knows how to do my sideburns right here.
You're gonna leave looking like a rock star.
She rocked my cut. Supercuts.
For document solutions for your business, trust the leader, All Copy Products. Our managed print services solution provides a worry-free printing environment, making your business more efficient and saving you money. Learn more now at allcopyproducts.com.
They call it the game of football, but let's make one thing clear. The Arizona Rattlers are not here to play games. They're not here to see their name in lights, to become superstars, or to make millions. When they suit up, they're looking to do one thing. Go to war. Arizona Rattlers football. Get a Rattlers family 4-pack with 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas starting at just $99. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com or 602-514-TDTD.
38-21. Arizona has extended their lead. Coming off of that Virgil Gray interception, let's check in with Lindsey Smith.
Hey guys, well it's time for our Ask Dale segment. And Dale, your question tonight comes from a Facebook fan who's watching at home. Matt Loschman wants to know, how important do you feel that home advantage is during the playoffs for the Rattlers?
Well, I think you can see by the way that this arena is getting more full each and every week, more energy. The Rattlers are undefeated at home. We saw last year how important it was for them and to get into the Arena Bowl. I think it's paramount. I think whichever team out of the West gets home field advantage will be the team that goes to the Arena Bowl.
Yeah, because the Shock certainly have proven to have a very strong home field advantage as well. Sanders trying to take this one out of the end zone. And how about the pursuit of one Virgil Gray? Tracked him from the kick and ran him down.
Such great explosion, ball skills. Now see, this is what you are capable of doing. So as a coaching staff, you're going to say, I want to see it on every play. I don't want to see it once every 5 kickoffs, but nice job.
Let's quickly check back in with Lindsay.
Well, guys, Matt has won an Arizona Rattlers t-shirt signed by the one and only Tyree Glasper. Matt, congratulations, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Lindsay. I thought you left her speechless with your answer there for a second.
He did smile. Remember, we saw him taking that picture. They must have taken a second one because he said since he's a little kid, he never showed his teeth in pictures. One of the nicer guys you're going to meet who somehow transforms into a mean tackling machine when he puts a helmet on.
Yeah, the ultimate going beast mode is Meyer with a big completion there. Finds Brandon Tompkins. Tompkins, as we noted, joined his club in Week 8 following a trade from Utah. Actually played with the Shock back in 2011.
Well, the thing they're concerned about with Tompkins is he can run the post and the post corner routes as well as anybody in the league. And as you said, he wasn't here last night.
1st and 10. Meyer. Lots of time to throw. A wide open Brandon Tompkins on the far side. And finally a run into the dasher boards, but not before he very close to the first down. And the officials give the indication that it will be a first.
Well, that's when you have the scouting reports. Well, Meyer's very accurate throwing short and right. Well, I'd be accurate too if there's nobody within 10 yards of him, number one. But number two, you've got to be able to force him, get his feet moving, and then bring that outside pressure.
Tompkins a motion receiver now. Myers pressure, drops it short. Tennell wide open and steps quickly into the end zone for the Spokane touchdown.
Well, not sure if that was a blown coverage or not. Looked like it could have been. And what's interesting, again, this coaching staff for the Rattlers, you talk to them about their defense, and to hear people complain about leading the league in interceptions and how dominant a lot of their efforts have been, sometimes you got to chuckle, but they estimate that about 50% of other teams' passing touchdowns have come on Rattlers blown coverages, which absolutely frustrates a coaching staff to no end.
Point after is good. Spokane closing the gap once again, 38-28. Rattlers on top.
This is Sanderson Ford Country. More people choose Sanderson Ford for parts, for service, for sales, for award-winning customer service. Sanderson Ford Country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
On Saturday, July 20th, mixed martial arts action returns to Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale as King of the Cage presents Heated Fury. Don't miss all the MMA action. Win hearts, titles, and honor will be thrown on the line. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or call the Talking Stick Resort box office 480-850-7734. King of the Cage, Heated Fury at Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale. Under 18 must be accompanied by an adult. Fight card subject to change.
But when the Arizona Rattlers win, you win at Papa John's. The day after an Arizona Rattlers win, you get a large cheese pizza for $4.99 at Papa John's. Visit papajohns.com and enter promo code Rattlers. Rattler fans have been treated to 6 such opportunities prior to tonight. Rattlers unbeaten here at Auction Field and trying to remain unblemished on the season. On the kick, Harvey back deep and won't get the opportunity for the return as this one between the pipes.
Well, and you want to keep any momentum from going on to the Spokane Shock sidelines, and that's when it comes paramount that your guys, your Nick Davilas, your Maurice Purifies, Kerry Reeds, Rod Windsors, you need to take this ball and drive it down the field and score a touchdown. See the numbers there for Davila. No turnovers, 3 touchdowns, 16 of 26, nice and efficient.
Armstrong back in the game, by the way, as that pass batted up in the air and incomplete. Terrence Moore, the linebacker, able to get a hand on that one. Let's send it downstairs with Chris Harris.
When we talked to Coach Guy earlier this week, he said one of the keys for tonight's game was to get off to a fast start and play from out front, because Spokane has played from the front most of the season, not from behind all that often. In 2 of their 3 losses this year, they play from behind, and right now, Coach Guy's got to be happy with where they stand.
Davila throws, completes underneath, penalty marker thrown back at the 2.
Flag on the play.
Play, illegal defense, Spokane, number 67. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That will help the cause for Davila and company.
And you're going to see him right there, the nose tackle. And, exactly why that was a, talk about Terrence Taylor, and so kind of interesting. Rattlers will take it.
Well, Taylor was the guy that Coach Kevin Guy spent a few extra minutes on this week, talking about how key he was to that defense. Another penalty marker thrown, looking to go deep for Harvey. And just kind of throw it away, and Coach Kevin Guy wanting a pass interference. Let's see. They have movement defensively for the Shock.
Illegal formation, defense, number 67, came out of his stance. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
See the movement. Little face mask, body contact, and you know what? Again, if you're, Don Master there, you might as well take that shot, because you don't take a shot at the receiver there, you're getting beat for a touchdown.
First and 5, Davila deep drop, throws back across the middle, completes it for the first down to Reed, right at midfield.
You're right, though. Terrence Taylor was a guy that the coaching staff talked about. 6 foot, 320 pounds, number 67 in the middle of your screen. They're just such a low center of gravity, and was going to cause Billy Eisenhart, Dixon, and Huey all sorts of problems, because you're talking about 6 foot tall. It's tough to get lower than that to gain leverage, and you have to stop that power rush before he gets going.
Davila throws near side, completes to Reed as he takes it just inside the Spokane 20 down to the 19. Well, and interesting to talk to the coaches, both Connie Kawhi and Kevin Guy, about the different defenses and personnel that they face. With Spokane, it's more of a speed to power type setup as a result of that nose guard that you're referring to, Terrence Taylor.
These offensive linemen, so athletic. Watch them get out in front of this screen. I mean, you're talking about 320-pound guys. We like to refer to that as elephants on parade. Big guys out in front trying to block little guys.
Davila pumps and throws, and Windsor unable to come up with it. Is Davila somehow able to put it between 2 defenders. So with 2 defenders there, somebody was running wide open.
Good protection, and as you said, would have been an acrobatic catch by Rod Windsor.
Harvey, the motion receiver here on 3rd down. Davila pressured up the middle, spins away, guns it near side, and Reed trying to come back to make the catch and unable to do so. Davila showing some nice escapability there to avoid the sack. But that sets up 4th down now.
Well, it does. An interesting decision. I don't know if you kick another field goal here. You sit there with a 10-point lead. And, you talk about important points in ball games. There's still 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, but as we said, in my mind, an important drive to answer the Spokane Shock's previous touchdown drive to come away with points.
Rattlers have converted 58% of their 4th down opportunities this season. Davila steps up, throws, and knocked back out of play and back on coverage. Terrence Sanders comes up with a big defensive play there for the Spokane Shop, and they will turn him over on downs.
Well, they put Devon Allen in at fullback for pass protection, and you're going to see, watch over here, there's going to be pressure put on by the Spokane Shock, that speed to power. We're talking about number 45, James Ruffin, disrupting the timing of that pass pattern, route, and throw.
So each team's defense has stepped up tonight, getting the turnover on downs. Arizona has forced the 1 true turnover. Virgil Gray coming up with the interception here early in the 3rd. And now it's Meyer and company, their turn. Drops it to a wide open Tunnell. Tunnell racing down the field into the end zone. Touchdown Spokane. Was not touched.
For the Spokane touchdown, flag on the play.
There's being unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Spokane. Jordan, number 12, coming back and taunting.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 12, taunting. A penalty will be enforced on the first play following the kickoff. Number 70 and number 55 report as eligible.
Well, and the rookie Jordan doing a lot of talking the last couple of series, as he and Tunnell both, after the previous touchdown by Tunnell, celebrating right in front of that Rattlers holding pin down there. Point after is good, and so Spokane gets the defensive stop, and then 1 play later, Meyer to Tunnell.
Is this another one of those blown coverages? No Rattler in the screen when the ball's caught. And again, you see Jordan come in and blindside a Rattler.
We're going to have another penalty flag thrown here.
Well, again, and you see Jordan over here taunting the Rattlers bench. It's just, there's a side of professional football that there might be a reason why you're playing Arena League. You have the talent, but to continue to act up like that, and you're putting your team in a bad situation. I don't know what there's to talk about. What are you going to get? Is the coach going to talk the ref out of not calling it? Well, the referees better get them under control.
Coach Kevin Guy trying to get an explanation here. Referee tonight, Chris Sneed.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct against 68 of the kicking team. That penalty will be enforced after the kickoff.
All right,
Some of the Rattlers faithful. Big John. Peanut found his way back to the snake pit. But 2 penalties now after that score against the Spokane Shock. And of your second-year coach, Andy Olson, going to be a little concerned about that. Harvey snares it before it bounces out of bounds, looks for a seam, cuts it back to the outside, but then grabbed their nice special teams coverage. And now even more extracurricular activity. Fists swinging now as Bo Bell made the tackle. And then now you got Arvell Nelson, who is the backup quarterback.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness by the kicking team, number 10. That player has been disqualified from the game.
Well, that's what it's going to take, because right now the Spokane Shock have absolutely lost control of themselves as he is ejected. And if the coaching staff can't get them under control, then the referees need to get them under control. And that's the way you start doing it. You just start ejecting them from the game. Because you still got the other penalties too. I don't know, can they score with all these penalties? Is it legal to get 45 yards worth of penalties and get a touchdown? That's what they're talking about.
Well, it's one thing to play with bravado and confidence, but after you've been able to wrestle some momentum away, get yourself within 3 here, just absolutely kind of losing their composure here on the road.
What's amazing to me is the 2 plays that Spokane has had their guys stand up and beat their chest. It was Terrence Sanders hitting Odie Armstrong low at the knee. And then it was Jordan coming back and taking a blindside shot on a Rattler and taunting him. I still want to see one of these guys take somebody straight on and then stand up and beat their chest.
Fouls by both teams during the play. Unnecessary roughness by the kicking team, number 10. That player is ejected. During the return, there's a hold by the receiving team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of Arizona's foul. The other fouls will be offset. First down, Arizona.
Wow. So the 2 personal foul infractions prior are waved off because of 1 for Arizona.
I'm at a loss for words.
That's math that doesn't add up. Davila completes to Purify, who we've not seen in a while. Again, Purify getting limited action last week. Had 3 grabs for 34 yards, trying to work his way back into playing shape and get back into rhythm. Well, he got the start tonight with Coach Kevin Guy wanting to run a bigger receiving core out there, taking the place of Jared Perry, who's played very well. Second and short. Davila sets, throws, completes. Harvey with the grab.
Davila's pass complete to number 23, Trevin Harvey. And that's enough for a first credit.
Well, this also, Coach Guy said in the pregame, he's going to have a lot of questions answered over this week and next week with San Jose game next week and playoff type atmospheres. And how do you deal with the adversity part of it? How do you overcome some of the things that are going on through? Can you block those out and still perform at a high level?
Davila stumbles, manages to complete it, finds Windsor looking for some cross-field blocking. He gets it. And not a big gain, but positive yardage nonetheless, as Windsor using every bit of the field. We've got an injured shock defender down, and that is Patrick Stoudemire, who's played very well tonight in the secondary for Spokane in place of Paul Stevens, who we still have no report as to why Stevens not in uniform tonight.
Come clear across the field. This is when some of those big hits, and Stoudemire looked like it might have been his left, right ankle or knee, just kind of buckled him. Stay out of harm's way, Nick. Stay out of harm's way.
They continue to work on Stoudemire around the knee or calf area, perhaps a cramp.
And the winning number for tonight's 50-50 raffle.
Well, we saw a couple of weeks ago on the road talking about testing the character and resolve of this Rattlers team. In Philadelphia, had to play from behind, made the plays late. But the one thing that Kevin Guy, Connie Kawhi, Omar Smith, we talked about this team being physical, especially in the first half. But the one thing since this group took over is being smart and being physical. Occasionally, you'll have the personal foul, but this is not a team that makes some of the stupid penalties as we've seen from Spokane here in the last 5 minutes. On second down, Davila, lots of time, completes it far side to Reed, and Davila driven into the turf there, and a penalty marker underneath Davila as he pushes himself up off the turf.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 2. Until we have to distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, Bo Bell's giving the Rattlers fits, and you know, I got to tell you, I don't think that's a roughing the passer penalty. I think that's one of those mental blows that the Rattlers have had on and off the last few weeks. You can't let Bo Bell run scot-free right up the middle. That's communication error on the offensive line. And I'm telling you what, if you're going to make a mistake, maybe have 2 guys block Bo Bell instead of only 1.
And keep in mind, Odie Armstrong not in the game right now. So that's maybe where that breakdown came from, Dale. Either way, they get the first down. First and goal to go from the 5. Davila looks, finds Harvey, touchdown, Rattlers.
You see offensive linemen talk to each other, and I understand they just scored, but they got to get that protection fixed up real quick. You don't like to see your quarterback down after down on his back.
Good.
45-35. We've reached the end of 3 here in the Snake Pit. The Rattlers leading the Shock as we head to the 4th.
Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
How do the Arizona Rattlers kick off their season? By improving their training skills at Fast Foothills Acceleration and Sports Training, where you can perfect your speed, agility, strength. By honing in on these key skills, you will have the winning edge and ability to compete at the highest of levels. Foothills Sports Medicine. Train like the pros, perform like the pros.
45-35, Arizona on top of Spokane as we head to the fourth quarter. Of course, the Rattlers defending champs. That put the bullseye squarely on their back. What were some of the other challenges as they headed into the season? Let's hear from Coach Kevin Guy.
Some people say, well, Arizona hasn't had any adversity. Well, I disagree with that. We've had adversity all year long. We've had injuries all year long at different positions. We've just handled them better this year because of the way we approach recruiting versus last year we had some holes. We didn't have a lot of depth at some spots, and we didn't make those mistakes this year. So that's how we've been able to overcome that stuff.
Well, that has certainly been the case. We've talked so much about their depth throughout the course of the season. As Sanders awaits the kick from Lindholm. Fields it cleanly off of the net. At the 5, the 10, 15. And tracked down from behind by Maurice Purify.
First down, Spokane at the 20-yard line.
Well, the game's basically just started.
The game within the game.
You gotta love the fourth quarter of a well-played, evenly matched arena football game.
See the numbers so far on the night for Eric Meyer. He's got time to throw, completes to Tennell, and a good open field tackle there by Arkeith Brown, and another penalty flag thrown here.
Personal foul, offense number 52, unnecessary roughness. 10-yard penalty, will be second down.
Well, the big fullback and offensive lineman Will Cassini, rookie out of Norfolk State, getting acquainted with our good friend Antosh Hawthorne.
And again, it was a good block. It was a good block by William. He didn't have to do the end part of it, which costs his team. That's not smart football. And in the end, those things will contribute to you losing the football game.
That sets up second and long now for Meyer and the shock. He's pressured and dropped. Tyree Glasper bursting through and comes up with his fourth sack of the season.
Well, and who do you think he's working against? Really nice job. Watch here. He can bring power. He can also be elusive. Tyree Glasper. Watch him jump around William Cassini for a sack. Big momentum changing play.
Pushes him back even more. 3rd and 24, a loss of 9 on that sack. Meyer from his own end zone, off his back foot. And another souvenir on that incompletion. Will set up 4th and long now for the Shock.
4th down, noise time. You heard Michael, time to pick it.
Looks like they're bringing the kicking unit out.
Taylor Rowan out of Western Illinois. Member of that 2010 championship team. From 61 yards, he's going to be just a little short and sets up a return opportunity here for Virgil Gray. He's got a seam. He's got a block down the near sideline. Well, How important is composure in these big games? We are witness to it right now, and so is that man, second-year coach Andy Olson.
In the immortal words of Connie Kauai, big games is when little things matter, and you see Virgil Gray, the athleticism, speed, vision, almost brings the missed field goal attempt back for a touchdown.
Davila steps up into the pocket, has time, and throws it across the middle. Nobody there.
That's a smart play by Nick. He held on the ball for a while, and quarterbacks, you have that internal time clock going off in your head. It's like, okay, I know I don't feel anybody around me, but I've held on this ball for a long time. Now remember, again, they're in the red zone. This is the area where the Rattlers have to pay particular attention to detail, because this is where the majority of their turnovers have come.
Second and goal to go. Again, no Odie Armstrong in the backfield. Davila looks, throws, complete. Touchdown, Kerry Reed.
Just really nicely devised route, almost impossible to cover if you're Terrence Sanders. Kerry Reed, Nick Davila on the same page, executing.
Point after from Lindholm is good. The long return after the missed field goal by Virgil Gray sets up the touchdown strike from Davila to Reed. Arizona extending their lead, 52-35.
At Papa John's, we know that twice is nice. That's why we created the double-layered premium pepperoni pizza. Nobody does what Papa John's does.
For just $10, get a large Papa John's double-layered premium pepperoni pizza, loaded with a layer of our signature pepperoni, plus a layer of oversized deli-style pepperoni. Or choose any large pizza, even specialties, for just $11. This isn't just any pizza for $11. It's a Papa John's pizza, loaded with quality.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
This is Sanderson Ford Country. More people choose Sanderson Ford for parts, for service, for sales, for award-winning customer service.
Sanderson Ford Country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
Well, be sure to watch the STEM Journals tomorrow at 7 p.m. or again at 9 p.m. on Cox 7 when we visit both Arizona State and Brain State Technology to learn about the field of cognitive psychology through sports, magic, and trauma. Back here at Auction Field inside U.S. Airways Center, Kerry Reed following the touchdown grab from Nick Davila. 52-35, Arizona has extended their lead after Spokane had closed the gap to 3, 38-35, but then numerous personal fouls on Spokane, one ejection on their backup quarterback, and the Rattlers have capitalized on each and every mistake. Sanders won't get the opportunity here as that one goes off the Casino Arizona facade there.
Which I'm not so sure if I'm Kevin Guy, I don't say. Lindholm hit the Casino Arizona facade every time. Please.
Well, he has certainly mixed up his kicks after those first two this evening. We saw one, of course, that he put over the top bars. But he has done a nice job of better placement. Meyer completes. Near sideline is Brandon Tompkins. Finds himself open underneath against Virgil Gray. First down here for Spokane. Of course, the last thing you want to do if you're Arizona is take your foot off the gas on either side of the ball.
Boy, he's got to you too, hasn't he? It's fun talking to just about every Rattler. You start speaking the Kevin Guy vernacular.
It's in the handbook. Deep drop for Meyer, has some pressure. And nearly picked off is Arkeith Brown back there. Looking like I was trying to field a punt.
Defense wanted to come out and be physical, put pressure on Meyer. They've done that all night. We talked about turnovers and kickoff coverage improving as the night has gone on.
Tennell, the motion receiver here for the Shock. Meyer, lots of time. And that pass is batted down by big Tyreek Glasper. Where the defensive front has played extremely well all night long.
He's just one of those guys that's always around the football. He's physical. You're going to see it right here, number 94. Okay, now he's been rushing. This time he's going to play spy. He's going to keep Meyer in front of him in case Meyer decides to run with the football. Able to get his hand up and knock the ball down.
On third down, quick slant finds Tennell. Terrific tackle there by Arkeith Brown as Tennell tried to cut it back to the outside, but Brown right there securing him for the tackle and sets up fourth down.
Really nice job. They talked all week about tackling, being sure tacklers. And this is one that very easily Tennell could have slipped the grasp of Brown and been into the end zone.
Deep drop, Meyer completes. Tennell stays upright, and even his forward progress, let's wait and see. Even his forward progress would not have been far enough on the grab. Andy Olson out there trying to plead his case. We'll go back and look at it.
It's going to be initially when he catches the ball, it's there about the 19-yard line. Pretty close to the first down marker. Gets knocked back, and they actually give him negative yardage on the catch.
Well, that Rattlers defense steps up big again, turning him over on downs for the second time tonight. Little flip pass outside to Reed. Running to his right. Pickup of about 6.
It just makes it so stressful on your defense when you can throw those quick little screens and then you can run the ball and you have 3 steps and 5 steps. And you see the yardage marker there. You got to get to the 18 for a first down. Ball doesn't get past the 19. That, actually, the second time I looked at it, that's a better call than the first time I saw it. We're usually critical of the officials. Nice job.
Second and short. Davila had Windsor, and Windsor maybe peeking at the end zone. Davila put that one right on the numbers.
And as you and Coach Guy like to say, this is not the point in the game where you want to take your foot off the gas. You'd like to get one more insurance touchdown, and you'd like to do it with a first down here and continue to let this clock run.
Harvey sets up as the motion receiver. Davila steps up into the pocket, completes. Brandon Harvey coming up with another big grab, and well, he's made 2 or 3 big catches on third down tonight, keeping drives alive for the Rattlers.
What I love about Brandon Harvey, watch how he catches this ball. Ball's thrown a little bit outside. He's coming out of his cut with his hands. Brings it into his body. Nice, strong hands by Brandon Harvey, and a fantastic pickup of a first down.
Another Washington State product. Davila looks near side, completes. No, Harvey tried to get it upfield quickly and just didn't quite secure it and lost that one off his hip.
All right, so I just compliment him on his great hands. Come on, Trandon. And again, I think if you're the Rattlers right now, you really don't mind that. As long as you end up scoring here, let's see if we can't take another minute or so off this clock.
Harvey, a veteran of the AFL game. Davila throws, and Harvey will not drop this one. Touchdown, Rattlers.
Protection up front.
Pretty good coverage. Just a terrific throw and great catch from Harvey. A penalty marker thrown on the point after. Wait and get the call here from a referee.
Illegal blitz, number 7 of the defense. That penalty declined. The result of the try is good.
Point after stands 59-35 with 4:46 to play here from Auction Field at US Airways Center.
But let's make one thing clear. The Arizona Rattlers are not here to play games. They're not here to see their name in lights, to become superstars or to make millions. When they suit up, they're looking to do one thing. Go to war. Arizona Rattlers football. Get a Rattlers family 4-pack with 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas starting at just $99. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com or 602-514-TDTD.
59-35, Arizona on top here.
Talking about Connie Kawhi and his expertise with offensive, defensive lines, he'll be getting calls to the head coach. Makes the adjustment. Remember the series before, struggled pass protection-wise. They put Cornelius Dixon in as the fullback. They move Allen to the offensive line. They did it for that series. Nick Davila able to have time to throw the football. A great adjustment by Connie Kawhi. One of those things that really is going to go unnoticed a lot of times.
Absolutely.
But and I've talked to Coach Guy about this. Both his coaches, Omar Smith, Connie Kawhi, I would be shocked if after this season they're not getting calls to be head coaches, because you want guys from successful organizations to come help you, teach you how to run yours.
A short kick for Sanders to field cleanly, but a short return as well as he takes it out to the 15. And Dale, a 21-0 run. We're not talking about the Heat or the Spurs here. We're talking about what the Rattlers have done since all the on-field fireworks, and most of those coming as a result of Spokane losing their composure. It was 38-35, and you could kind of feel that moment perhaps coming for Spokane to go on top, but it did not occur. And the Rattlers have capitalized as Tompkins breaks free after the grab and racing ahead for the first down. But you look at each and every game, about every sport, you can find what is often referred to as the tipping point. And that little 5-minute stretch there where there was so much chirping coming from all the Spokane players, it's going to be pretty easy for Coach Andy Olson and his staff to look back on the tape and say, we essentially lost this game right there. First and 10, Meyer throws short, completes to Tompkins. He's done a nice job of finding the holes here tonight for the Shock.
Well, I think the Rattlers are very content to allow them to complete 3, 4, 5-yard passes down the field as the clock continues to run. But you're right, and that's part of a growing up learning experience for Spokane too. Now, you know what? It's a teaching moment for this staff, for these players. Hey, as the season goes on, we get to the playoffs, we can't allow that to happen.
Meyer pressured, and he'll be dropped again. Tyree Glasper coming off of the top of the pile. It looked like Pittman maybe got a hand on it.
Offense, number 70, 10-yard penalty.
Tyree saying, hey, don't accept the penalty, then I don't get the sack. Tyree Glasper has just put together a wonderful season. I mean, he's going up against a guy that outweighs him by 65 pounds, and it just goes to show you what leverage can do for you. And the thing that makes Tyree Glasper so good is not only they've lost their spot of, there you go, but the thing that makes him so difficult to block is the fact that he can hit you and thump you with 265 pounds, but he's also athletic enough to jump around you, elude you, and it makes it so hard to block him.
Under 3 to go here in the 4th. Meyer completes it short to Tunnell, who's run into the dash of boards there by Kellum.
As we see this 4th quarter wind down, 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Defense has done a tremendous job in these situations tonight.
3rd down and 5. Myers. Antron Dillon got a hand on it to bat it down.
That brings up a 4th down, and you know what that means.
You're taught as a defensive lineman, you can't get there with your pass rush. Watch him right here. You're not going to get there getting blocked. You see the ball, get your hand up. Get your hand up. You never know. You never know when you can affect the play by just getting one big mid up in the air. And right there, Antron Dillon did a nice job with it.
Meyer in the Shock face with another 4th down. Pressure comes, completes, short, but good for a Shock 1st down. On the catch was the rookie Jordan, who has been much quieter over the last 10 or 15
well,
minutes.
you know, as I said, I think it's going to be a great teachable moment for this team as they go forward. And, you know, I would not be shocked at all, no pun intended, if the Rattlers see the Shock again this season.
Meyer, deep drop, has time, now slings it far sideline.
Myers pass completes to Jordan.
Tyree Glasper finding himself everywhere on the field to play. Gets back and drops the rookie. But, and you're exactly right, Dale, when you look at this roster, it is a relatively young Spokane team. And learning a valuable lesson right now at the hands of the Arizona Rattlers, the defending champ. 59-35, 1 minute left.
First Avenue, just north of Bell. Peoria Kia is gonna treat you well. Save some time and shop online. It's all right here
at Peoria Kia. Right now, drive away in a 2013 Kia Rio from $87 per month, or 2013 Kia Soul from $99 per month, or opt them out from $150 per month. Stop by Peoria Kia today or visit PeoriaKia.com. Service, selection, and save. It's all right here at Peoria Kia. Visit PeoriaKia.com.
Hey Rattler fans, I'm Chris Coraggio. Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
.59-35, 1 minute remaining. Let's check in with Lindsey Smith.
Well, Kevin, did you know that offensive lineman Cornelius Dixon has 9 other brothers and sisters? I found that out this week when I sat down with him for our social media get to know. Now to check out his full post and find out a little bit more about Dixon, you can head over to our Facebook page at Cox 7 Arizona Sports.
All right, thank you very much, Lindsey. Always find great stuff there.
9.
It's a big brood.
I'm exhausted just having 2 daughters.
Second and short here for Meyer. And the shot completes to Tunnell, and he gets cut down there inside the 5, maybe even lost a half yard or so. Brings up 3rd down. Clock continues to run. Well, both these teams putting 70-plus points on the board in recent weeks, but you knew coming in that 70 was an unlikely number for either of these clubs. Explosive offenses, but very good defenses. Let's take a look at tonight's Ultra-Star Multi-Tainment Center Player of the Game.
You talk about this defense, and name of the game in arena ball is stops. Defense gets a couple stops, another interception. Virgil Gray, again pressure, another stop, being physical at the point of attack. I think the game plan that the coaches instituted, wanting to be physical from the very first snap, has really presented itself well. And I think as the coaching staff watches the film, they're going to say, you know what? The Rattlers were very, very physical tonight.
Yeah, executed to perfection.
But the great thing for Coach Guy and his staff is it wasn't a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination, so they can still work on things.
3rd down, 36 seconds left. Meyer steps up, throws, incomplete.
Meyer's pass incomplete, intended for Tompkins. 4th down.
And I just can't tell you how difficult it is to cover guys for that long. And there was really no place to go with the football. For the first time in a while, the pass rush didn't get there. Meyer had some time to throw the football, but nowhere to go with it.
Fourth down. Tompkins, the motion receiver. Myers looks, completes to Tunnell for the touchdown. Penalty marker back around the 17.
Coach Omar Smith indicating it gets Spokane.
Illegal defense, Arizona, number 94. The Jackals out of the box. The penalty decline. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, all I know is that if you're going to get a penalty called on you for an illegal defense, you should have somebody within about 15 yards of the wide open receiver, huh?
In most instances, yes. Point after is good.
28 seconds to go in the ball game. Rattlers 59, Spokane 42.
Well, the Rattlers certainly Hadsenell at the top of their priority list, coming in as the top receiver in the league and has made plays all night long. We mentioned that he set that goal of 50 touchdowns prior to the season, and barring a few droughts before it's all said and done, he'll have that and then some.
Such a big target, 6'5" tall, 210 pounds, very smooth runner. Not afraid to go over the middle, not afraid of some contact.
28 seconds to go, man.
4 touchdowns tonight. That gives him a season total of 39 now, after grabbing 40 all of last season.
.28 seconds left. Onside kick time. Everybody has their job. Some of the Rattlers are out there to block. Some of them are out there to catch.
Armstrong in the game up on that front line. And squibbing one all the way down the field as Harvey scoops it up. Found himself a little backside seam there.
Tackle by Solomon.
Take a look at the upcoming Rattlers TV schedule at San Jose and at Orlando after that bye week. And well, it'll be a much needed bye week because next week is no picnic. Having to play at San Jose, who is really playing some good football. And
well, you know it's always going to be a physical game when San Jose and Arizona get together.
San Jose, we understand, did lose tonight to Iowa, so a big loss for them.
False start. Offense, number 75. Come on. 5-yard penalty.
Remember, you have to gain positive yardage in arena football in the last minute of the half and fourth quarter to keep the clock running. You can't take the snap and like in the outdoor game, take a knee. The clock will then stop and won't start till you snap it again.
Davila out of his own end zone, throwing deep. Incomplete. Looking for Rod Windsor down the far sideline.
Not sure why you wouldn't just lean forward with the quarterback and let the last 17 seconds of the fourth quarter run out.
Davila will do so here. And that will be the final play of the evening. The Rattlers and the Shock coming in as 1 and 2 in the power rankings. And it's the Rattlers who remain unbeaten here on their home field and run their winning streak tonight. 59-42 the final. We'll be back with some final thoughts and comments from Coach Kevin Guy after this timeout.
Saturday, July 20th, mixed martial arts action returns to Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale as King of the Cage presents Heated Fury. Don't miss all the MMA action when hearts, titles, and honor will be thrown on the line. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or call the Talking Stick Resort box office 480-850-7734. King of the Cage, Heated Fury at Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale. Under 18 must be accompanied by an adult. Fight card subject to change.
Are you a weekend warrior? Do you know where to turn to if you get hurt? We do. At Foothill Sports Medicine Physical Therapy Centers, we provide an individualized hands-on treatment plan based on your specific injury. We aim to restore function and to prevent re-injury. Call or stop by any of our 12 convenient valley-wide locations to receive a free assessment.
$59-42, your final here from the Snake Pit. Terrific crowd on hand as the Rattlers now improve to 12-1 on the season, unbeaten here on the home field. And the kind of fireworks and competitive match that we expected between these top two clubs.
And you know what? It's a fun game to watch, and both teams will learn from it because, as I said, I fully expect these two teams will meet again at some point in this season. They'll be in the playoffs, obviously, but they're two of the three best teams in arena football, and you could see that tonight.
And a game that, was at that kind of breaking point there in the third quarter after you had Spokane close the gap 38-35 and then kind of got off the rails, losing their composure, some personal fouls. The Rattlers went on that 21-0 run and put the stake in the heart of Spokane, but a lot to gain really for both clubs out of this victory tonight.
And that's what you like. You obviously like to learn a little bit more from victories than from losses, but I think Spokane will grow up quite a bit from this. I think you can point to certain spots in the game that we need to act differently. We need to react differently if our ultimate goal is to win the Arena Bowl. And so you watch the Rattlers, some personal fouls early in the game. I'm not sure if that was by design or not, but as the game went on, you didn't see those same penalties from the Arizona Rattlers.
Let's send it downstairs and check in with Chris Harris.
Hey, thanks, guys. Here with Tyree Glassford, one of the defensive stars of the game for the Rattlers. And Tyree, Spokane came into tonight's game averaging 67 points a game. You held them to 42. What was working tonight?
Our pass rush and our coverage. Last game we played bad. We played horrible on defense. We didn't give our offense a chance. And tonight we just put a chip on our shoulder. We knew we had to go out. We had to turn it up another level. It's a game we needed.
Describe the emotions in this game because it got a little chippy out there.
That's football, so it's all in the sport. It's all love. You see us after the game, we're still shaking hands. It's no hard feelings, but it's just the heat of the game. It's a close game, rivalry. It's all love.
Considering you guys lost up in Spokane last time, how much sweeter does it make it for you guys to take care of it here and do it handily?
It's real sweet. It tastes real sweet. Anytime you win, it's real sweet. Especially this one. This is the team that we lost to. We didn't play a bad game. We wanted to bounce back, but it's sweet. To deliver a quality win to our home fans.
Appreciate the time, Tyree. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, now here with Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy. And Coach, you said this was kind of like a playoff game. Big win. Your thoughts?
It was a big boy game tonight.
Big boy game.
Big boy game. I like the effort. Offensively, defensively, special teams. Obviously there's always things you want to clean up, but we did what we were supposed to do tonight. And we wanted to make sure that the playoffs are going to run through the desert here. Here in the Snake Pit, so I feel real good. Hey, knock it off. So we got to keep working. We got a big game next week on the road.
San Jose, they lost to Iowa tonight, so they fall another game behind. With this win here against Spokane, you're now 3 games ahead of the Shock. The importance of that in the standings as you look ahead.
Well, it's huge because we got 5 games left. So we're 3 games up with 5 games to go. We need to close them out. I'm so proud of the guys, their effort. Some guys fought through some injuries tonight, and we just kept trying to make, some plays, and, we came out ahead at the end.
Your thoughts on the atmosphere here tonight? It was pretty lively.
Awesome. This is what we've been working towards, and want to thank our fans. I thought the Rattler Nation was a big part. It was so loud during the game, we could barely hear each other talk down here. So very, very happy with the turnout. Want to thank the fans. I want to wish all the fathers out there happy Father's Day.
One of the lighter moments here this evening, after the Rod Windsor touchdown catch, was you and Marcus Pittman going for the high five, and you got knocked down a little bit. What happened there?
Here's what happened. I was running for the bench, and then I saw him out of the corner of my eye trying to give me one of those up jumps, you know. So, you know, I thought about it, and I was like, damn, you know, it just caught me off guard, so I went to jump, and he caught me. But I came back out here and checked him one time afterwards, so it's all good. Hey, I can still take a hit.
Absolutely.
That's good. It was a good hit, though.
Congratulations.
I'm hurting like hell right now. Something's going on with my knee and my side. I think I got a strawberry, too.
You'll feel better in about an hour.
Yeah, I'm a little tougher than K-Ray and Dale, though. I can say that.
Understood. Hey, Rattlers, their 9th straight win. They move their record to an AFL best 12-1 at San Jose next week. Guys, things are looking good here for Arizona.
Oh, no doubt about it. Strawberry and all from Coach Kevin Guy and getting in his licks on us as he
out of the
typically
corner
does.
of his eye. How do you miss?
Yeah, how
do you
is
miss Marcus
Pittman?
Pittman? He's only about 6'6", 320 pounds. You don't see that out of the corner of the eye.
Let's take a look at our Casino Arizona Talking Stick Resort game recap here tonight. The Rattlers and the Shock going at it, and you know their numbers close coming in, and total yards pretty close as well. But look at the third down conversions. That's really been one of the benchmarks all season long for this Rattlers defense. Only one turnover, but it was a pivotal turnover.
Well, it was, and the one thing that the Rattlers wanted to cut down on were turnovers, and especially in the red zone. So they put their minds to that, devise a few different things, and they're able to cut turnovers completely out. In big games, the little things matter. Connie Kawhi, and little things are, what are you going to do to adjust to the other team? And just a nice victory for the Rattlers.
Yeah, big win here at home as they remain unbeaten, going 7-0 here at Auction Field inside U.S. Airways Center. Want to remind you, another big game coming up next week for your Arizona Rattlers. On the road, taking on San Jose. That game will be broadcast nationwide on the CBS Sports Network, channel 1312 on the Cox system, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Tune in next Saturday night for what should be another big National Conference West rivalry game between the SaberCats and your Arizona Rattlers. Rattlers win 9 straight, 7-0 here at home as they take down the Spokane Shock. That will wrap up our coverage here on Cox 7 Arizona. As always, we thank you for joining us, and special thanks to our superb efforts once again from our great Cox 7 crew. Jared Donnins on stats here this evening. Beth Hockman, our stage manager. Great work by our camera guys up top here. Toby Finch, Tom Kioski, James Rincon, the rest of our Cox 7 crew. For Lindsey Smith, Chris Harris, Director Pete Gordon, producer Rich Reed, and Dale Hellestray, I'm Kevin Ray saying good night from the Snake Pit. The Rattlers win it 59-42 over the Shock.